or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of February, take advantage of 4.75% for up to 60 months on 400 and 600 series sprayers and seeding equipment. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine, a light breeze, an afternoon high around 64. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a light breeze, and a low around 40. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies, but it will be breezy. Afternoon high around 65. I'm meteorologist Kyle Pucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block.
Oh, welcome in to On the Block. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland with you here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you, as always, by NEPCO. If you want to be a part of the NEPCO family, you can check them out at nepcoinc.com. Fellas, what's good? How we doing today?
What's happening?
Yay, man. I listen, I love the weather. Shout out to A1 Automotive once again, taking care of Stricky. My guy, Kendall Warnock, and the crew over there. Got Stricky hooked up, man, getting a little oil change, getting right for the spring, the change, get through the winter, rotate some tires, you know what I'm saying? A little something, so I got to get some love. But you know what we also got?
What else we got, Stricky?
Uncle Kevy coming through Thursday. I Stricky get excited about that day. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Stricky, I'm going to warn you. You got to soak this one in, because Kevin told me ahead of time that he's not in the next 2 Thursdays.
I got to go out of town then.
It's about that time of year.
No, me and Jay. No. Shout out to Jay Foreman. We got to work out the schedule because March Madness has arrived, but also state tournament is on the way. So it's right around the corner next week. So Jay,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
We're gonna be calling those. Jay, we don't got a Britt Prince in there this year. We don't.
For the ladies,
you got a Molly Ladwig though.
You've heard talking about for the ladies. Yeah, but you got the twins up at Miller West, and then you got then you got old girl from Scott
Ladwig.
Oh, Ladwig. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you got plenty.
You'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Also, what's up or what's down, I suppose, is Ty Robinson's 40 time 4.83.
Jay, I need you to elaborate
for the 6'5", 288.
Jay, does that get you some money? Does that get you some money?
288. 6'5", 288, 4'8".
People were talking about all Ty needed to do was do well at the Senior Bowl. I knew he was going to test off the charts. I knew he was going to test.
Ty's a big boy, bro. I didn't realize he's a big boy.
And 288, he's in magnificent.
Right.
That's probably the lightest he's been in a long, probably since he just first got here. I'm telling you, he gonna blow the. He gonna test well. He gonna jump well. He's gonna agility well. He's strong as an ox. He never really. I don't think he's. I don't think he's had any He's durable. He's gonna go up the draft board to do, and he gives you a lot of position flexibility. I think at the end of the day, he'll go the highest. I think, and I think he has room to grow as far as he can get a lot better. I think he can get better at technique stuff, and that's fine. I mean, that's everybody. You got to get better at the next level. I think him playing with some more veterans will teach him, how the nuances of the game. I think he's gonna, I think the biggest thing for Ty is he's generally pretty. He's a focused kid, but I think what happens when you go to the league, the biggest jump is you have got to. I'm big into this. Is you have got to create your own faith in yourself. You gotta feed it every day. So it's a thing of an unbreakable will, or whatever you want to call it, because at every corner you're gonna have doubt. You're gonna have people doubting that you shouldn't have been drafted high, or you shouldn't have been drafted at all. You have people that you probably played with that think you weren't very good. You got people just walking the street that just don't think you good. And so then here's the worst. Here's the funniest part. You'll have dudes that sat there, be up in the meetings in them big old boardrooms, and draft you, and then they'll be down there as soon as mini camp, and they be like, "Yeah, he ain't that good." I'm telling you, this is everybody. The best thing the Patriots ever did, and this is how they, and I'm sure the Chiefs do this now, and I think they do just because they'll get a guy and use him at what he does well. Is the Patriots did something that nobody else in the league was willing to do for a long time. Now, Pittsburgh does it and other teams, right? And this is why you go on a 20-year run. Majority of teams draft guys and immediately think how they can get rid of them. They don't want to pay.
That's why.
But what do you hear all the time? What he can't do.
Yeah.
You never hear that from Belichick.
How much money is gonna need to stick around?
Or no, but it's not even about money. They'll just be like,
well, later.
Well, and that's negotiation. Well, Belichick be like, oh, you rush the passer good, and you play good. Your threshold of playing at a all-pro level is 40 plays. That's what I need from you. Now there'll be days you might need 60, but then they'll piece together the other 20. Oh, you're really good on a plug A to B gap run defender. That's what you'll do. Whereas like you'll be a really really good A to B. You'll have your skill set that you're really, really good at. A team will pick you up and be like, well, why didn't he do C? You do A and B well. They never. So
what you were asked to do,
and what you did well. They never asked you to do anything that you don't do well. Now you still work at it because there's going to be times of injuries and different schemes. That's why you had guys there that played. So you had Vrabel where he played outside linebacker. He played defensive end on third down. There was times that when
played tight end, played fullback.
He played stack linebacker. He got football players.
Right.
Ty's a football player. He gives you the ability to play now, size and stuff, to play 0 through 5. And 6 if if he gets if he's at 288, he has a more chance to play like a power end or something like that. I mean, he's going to help himself. Now, granted, this is a very deep defensive tackle class, but him running at 4.8 at 288, they know he can get to 300. I'm even willing to bet it, even if he was at 290, 93, 94, he still would have ran the same.
I was going to ask, what is Ty's ideal NFL weight as you look at his frame? Does he have to hit 300? Is he 290?
No, when you 6'6", when you 6'6", there's a Google Aaron Smith. Played for the Pittsburgh. Me and him had the same agent. Aaron Smith played at Northern Colorado, I think, smaller school, and Ty's farther along than Aaron, but Aaron was 6'5", 6'6", about 280, 85. Actually, he was probably a little bit lighter coming out.
Listed at 298 on Pro Football Reference, but probably didn't.
But he got bigger.
Got there?
Right.
Okay.
And that's Ty right there. And Aaron played 10 years. And
44 career sacks, 244 tackles.
But he played for Pittsburgh. I don't know where he's at. Nobody knows where he's at. He up in the middle of Colorado.
Chilling.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Snowboard.
But that's all he wanted to do. He got a bunch of kids, but I'm going to tell you what. I guarantee you come across his property line, you going to be met with resistance. But I'm dead serious. My man is cool as the other side of the pillow, but he does not play about certain things. And he's one of the nicest dudes ever. and he was very black. But that's Ty right there. Now I think Ty's farther along as far as coming in playing. But that's what when I think of Ty Robinson, I think of Aaron Smith or Brett Kiesel that played there. Big old, tall, long, can play whatever position, can play 3-4, can play 4-3. Can play a 3-3. Obviously,
Ty will never have as majestic a beard as Brett Kiesel, though.
I don't think anybody has. Brett Kiesel didn't have a beard coming in the pros.
Well, it looks like he never shaved it in the pros.
Yeah, it's 10 years running or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's Ty's made some money for himself. So congrats to him. He's worked at it. He stayed, helped build this team. To where they at, make a bowl game.
I got a question for you though. Like, does Mike Tomlin take time off, or does Mike Tomlin jump right back in and just gives you the you know how it is when gives you the Luka treatment? Like, does he just go somewhere else and say, oh, you want to try to stop my run, and then go somewhere else and just get it turned around?
Mike
Tomlin? Or
is
he picky? Is he picky about it? Like if you're Mike Tomlin, like just and again, you're not, but just the mindset. Like, would you be someone that kind of really wait for the right situation to present itself, or do you jump right in and take something from the straight Drake, start it from the bottom? Now we're here. You know what I mean? Take it from the bottom and raise it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did he get fired?
No, he's still there.
Yeah, he's
still. Is he still there?
Yeah.
I thought.
Vrabel got the new job in New England.
Oh,
Mike Vrabel, but he's already there.
I thought
somebody was still around.
Somebody was telling me they was about to let him go.
No, he's been on the quote-unquote hot seat from the outside for a while, but Pittsburgh hasn't made any indications that they're moving on.
Oh, that's good.
And I think he had an extension.
Something like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's, Mike Tomlin, never had a losing season, and you've been so consistent, then Pittsburgh expects more. I mean, he does need to make some adjustments. I do think that. But also think that he needs to get past I guess if I was talking to Mike right now, and the great thing about, we've drank some beers together. I'm telling you, he's from Virginia. So Maryland dudes always look at Virginia like, hey, Strick, we got to see what we got. But he a good dude. He actually lived right around the corner from me when he was at the Vikings. If I was sitting there kicking back a couple with him, I was like, look, man, you've done a really good job. Pittsburgh's done a really good job of Hines Ward, Antonio Brown before he got hit by Vontaze Burfict. All those kind of mid to late round guys that you've developed and they end up being good. Stop drafting problem childs.
You're doing it to yourself.
Yeah, get away. Hey, man, you've given it. And I understand what he says. He thinks he can coach through that. These problem childs aren't the same ones that we had that just needed, like Allen Iverson needed John Thompson or whoever that you played to say, he just needs a big brother or somebody to do him. Like I always tell people about Khalid Al-Amin and Tim Floyd, where if Tim Floyd actually got to know Khalid, he wouldn't have resisted because Khalid first, the way Tim Floyd coached, he's always going to push back. But that's not Khalid though, and I call him K-Dog. This is probably the third time I ever mentioned his real name, but I think at this point, that's what I would tell him. Because the one thing that's holding back Pittsburgh, doesn't matter if it's Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, is receiver. You got two
Pickens.
You can't depend on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So get rid of him now, even if it's pennies on the dollars, right? Because you can't count on him. And Pickens isn't the type of dude that's going to have self-reflection in the offseason. He's going to keep doubling down. And the more you keep him around, the more that he's going to double down on his behavior.
Pickens is talented, but to me, he thinks he's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's on that level.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Right. But when you keep enabling or whatever it is, then he thinks it. Now, and this isn't, and there's got to be, there's got to be back and forth. But even if you decide to pick him or keep him, I'm bringing in some real deal dudes. I'm bringing in guys that when he's looking around the room, because I think what it is, he knows he's the best guy in the room, so they got to play me. Oh, no. Well, when I draft a guy in the second round, he's playing. And then when I free agency somebody as well, even if it's not top level guys, now if you bring T. Higgins in, now you know you're number 2. Now if you bring somebody in like that's productive, that's underneath that, he knows he's not there either. So automatically now you either gotta really compete, and competition just isn't going out there and catching passes. Competition is also showing up on time, practicing hard, have your attitude right, be a good teammate, be accountable. And this isn't even saying that you need to totally change who he is. But what you're doing now,
you got to focus it. You got to find a way to get him to apply it, positively.
You ain't never going to win nothing with you. You're not going to reach your maximum if I'm talking to Pickens.
No.
And you're not going to get your maximum here. And my job's on the line. Like, I can only carry you and bring you so far. It's not like you came from Georgia and you never had any structure.
Well,
I mean,
look at Georgia.
Yes,
but
I take that back. Kirby's like, hey, listen, driving license is just, you don't even got to take. You ain't even got to take your driver's license. You show up, here's your NIL check and your driver's license and a car. Don't drive below 90. on a two-way street. But I think that's what I would tell for Mike Tomlin and those coaches. And that's where the best thing you could do is create, even here, or in Nebraska or just college level, is create that good peer pressure.
Yeah.
And that's strict.
Yeah.
Whereas like right? When you were here, or when you were trying to earn minutes, say me and you were in there, like, I mean, outside one of the team, but you and somebody else that you were trying to earn some minutes or just trying to earn your keep. You can't have a practice off. You can't show up like you starting.
No question.
You get what I'm
saying? You got to
saying?
go in and for me, it was always, Jay, I'm attacking the best person there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're going to learn the most.
Okay, so for me, okay, Pike, me and you every day.
Yeah.
NBA, okay, Jason Kidd. If we got to scrap, we got to scrap. But I'm coming. I'm coming for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever, whoever the best player was, I got him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I looked at it. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. You that's the way you gotta figure out how to carve whatever that niche is for yourself.
Yeah, and also for Mike Tomlin or any coach at that time, at that where you're at in that position. And it even also goes, even for like D'Amico Ryans, where the wide receiver group, you got Stephon Diggs. Now obviously he got hurt, and then Tank Dell got hurt. And then you got Nico Collins, who's essentially, your best guy. And then you have I think his last name is Michi, who's coming back from
John Mechie from Alabama.
From Alabama, the cancer stuff. And he played good at times this year. Mm-hmm. But like when you're
I think he's got good upside. I like it.
I do, because he's pretty much was almost a first round pick, and then he had the issue. Well, when you got a guy like Stephon Diggs, right? And sure, wide receivers are divas and all that. But once you get past like your 6 to 8, you got to change. You even see
Cardi B got him twisted.
You even see like with Randy Moss, right? Where Randy Moss, as he got older, he started to think back on some of the lessons he learned from Jake Reed and Chris Carter. So when he went to New England, he fit right in.
The opposite of that was Terrell Owens,
right?
But that's his problem. He never got it,
because you could be what it's called. I call it revisionist history. Yes, you are a Hall of Famer. Yes, you were dominant and still was very productive his whole career. But are you that dominant that they're willing to deal with it? That's where Pickens is in the 3rd or 4th year of his career.
Yeah,
nobody wants to touch. If Pittsburgh wanted to trade him right now at the combine, where
it wouldn't be
you
much
getting
out
like
there.
What, 7th round pick, and you losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but that loss has to be worth what you possibly could gain.
I saw something today.
What's up?
And it made me think about what we've talked about here on the block. I love how sometimes confirmation things kind of pop up, because we talked about yesterday that liaison kind of position, that bridge gap position that I think a lot of universities can benefit from, especially when you're you have to make high quality decisions that I think go beyond just measurables or numbers. We saw what doing numbers here got for you when we, like, for example, when we brought in your boy from TCU, O'Shawn Motley.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, number, but you gotta be able to take into account some things. You need, but shout out to University, I think, of New Orleans.
Oh yeah, they got Master P.
Master P.
Yeah, and that's
It's
good.
just it's just that type of stuff.
And it's good.
They're gonna learn a lot.
And he's in
the community.
And the business side.
Yeah,
and he's actually, and his kids are of all of them been pretty dang good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That type of stuff like that's innovative thinking.
That's the way
in a way that you can
everything's changed.
Navigate. Yeah,
everything's changed.
So that's kind of what we were talking about.
Right,
they did it,
and the NFL is a little bit late coming to this. Right, where you think about where the NBA, they were a step or two ahead. They would take a Steve Kerr, before that like a Mark Jackson. Now recently,
even your boy
JJ Redick,
Nash,
but
and they did Fisher.
Yeah,
Fisher came straight off the freaking court.
Right, the court or from the microphone.
Yeah,
and then surround them with good
Hoiberg.
With coaches, and then let them coach.
Mm-hmm. Jason Kidd especially.
Right, you're right.
Because I can tell you for sure, Jay, I saw this with my own eyes when he was in Milwaukee. Jason Kidd at timeouts didn't touch the clipboard, but he does now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, he surrounded himself with guys that probably have been head coaches.
Yeah.
Kind of, he was able to watch, learn, observe. You have to want to do that.
Right.
And and now,
I think
he's good at what he does.
I think if you're starting to see it. Look, obviously, we talk about Colorado. You see it. We talked about the Commanders with their coaching staff, and you see it throughout the league. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, and then obviously Dan Campbell had a lot of former players doing it. I think, and then you see it some more in college. Guys, coming back and doing it. I think the biggest thing that you could do is you got to make sure you get the right guys that are doing it for the right reasons, right? So essentially, it's for the team and then for the university. And obviously, it's going to be beneficial for both. But I think the knowledge and the experience and knowing in these and you need it more now because I'm talking about football. It's modern day NFL. So guys that played in the NFL, this is their wheelhouse. Guys coming and going, and creating relationships and finding how to connect with a guy that's just come in, essentially off the street or off the practice squad from another team. I'll give a great example like this before we go to break. Charlie Castley was in, and it's not even Charlie Castley, but NFL. When you're on a either up and coming team, we weren't very good. 1 year in Houston, so the bottom part of the roster, it was like. Every Monday when we were leaving, we knew guys were there to work out, right? So it was right before the first game, and now you get like almost a mini bye week, and then that Wednesday of the next week, if you're a veteran, once you practice that Wednesday, then you're good for the rest of the season. Well, they brought in 3 guys from Cincinnati. And I'm sitting there like, dang, the Bengals, they only won 1 game more than us. Well, they brought in a guy named Steve Foley, right? And I knew who Steve Foley was because you just watch. Big old linebacker. Cincinnati had him playing stack linebacker. He's actually an outside linebacker. Well, Steve came in, didn't know anybody, right? And so I had 2 lockers, and so his was right next to mine. So he came in and kind of like a equivalent of a 10-day contract.
Okay.
Well, I connected with Steve through a mutual friend through our agent. So me and him bonded, and then I was like, hey, look, man, since you're going to be traveling with me, excuse me, defensively, we're going to have our own code word so you can be successful. Because the better that Steve plays, the better that I play. Right?
Right.
But it's the language that we were able to connect with in the common bond that quick. That's why you need it right now. Because, you'll have guys that'll be here for the season, be gone. New guys come in. Some guys are here for spring. So you got to try to connect with them to make sure they can play their best football in a short amount of time. And when you're at the coaches level sometimes, and you only get certain amount of, I'm assuming they don't get, unlimited hours. They only can do so much because they have to coach a big pot of guys where you can kind of take plots of guys and create more stuff like that. So that's what you're talking about, right? With Jason Kidd and those guys. But I think the NBA was way ahead of that, because remember when Steve Kerr took the job, remember he was calling games and they're like, how's he going to do it? Well, what did he do? Got a great staff. Bob Myers was good. Kenny Atkinson from Cleveland was on his staff. Now look at him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was a former coach in New Jersey or for Brooklyn.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's there. You know, you just gotta be willing to reach out and touch somebody, right? Isn't that what they say? They reach out and extend the olive branch. Isn't that what that's called?
It is.
Yeah, it is. And I think what's frustrating with that, before we go, Austin, I think what's frustrating as a bystander, someone that's close to it but not connected to it, is there's so much stuff you see that are holes that you know that you could speak to, because, like, for example, you look at Fred and Coach Hoiberg, and you know he can't do it. Like, the little holes that I see, I know he can't fill it. Even though he probably sees it, but he just can't get to it because of all the stuff you have to maintain, you have to handle. Now you even got to get out there and NIL it.
Yeah, and I think that's a byproduct of the sports, where they stretch that rubber band from head coaches tenfold, like, overnight. And so when you stretch here and we're saying the same things differently. It's not that he can't or he won't. He just can't, just because of the stretch. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, it's tough, especially when you're up and coming, trying to get in where you fit in.
Lots of good stuff there in that first segment. We'll keep the conversation rolling in segment 2 of On the Block. Maybe talk a little more specifically about Nebraska's new general manager, what could be ahead of Patrick Stewart at Nebraska. Maybe hear from some assistant coaches from yesterday. And don't forget, in about 15, 20 minutes or so, you get to take on Jay Foreman in trivia. Stricky will be the lifeline, but Jay's in the hot seat today. We'll be back with more On the Block in just a sec.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Wilbur-Clatonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, reminding us modern technology has made things much easier, but it's also made it easier for students to bully and harass one another. 43% have experienced shame or ridicule, and 25% have been so severely treated, professional intervention was needed. Make sure your youngster is neither a victim nor a victimizer. Technology should be an educational aid, not a threat. Wilbur-Clatonia Schools is an equal opportunity education provider. School calendar online at wilburclatonia.org.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
We currently have a great inventory of homes that are completed or almost complete, available right now, that you could move in within 30 to 90 days.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
In Woodside Village, which is in Northwest Lincoln, catty corner from the new Northwest High School, we have available homes right now that start in the lower 300s. Sod, sprinklers are included, all your kitchen appliances, brand new homes ready to go. A very accessible area, easy to get downtown, easy to get on the interstate. It's just a great location. Our designer has selected incredible finishes that will amaze you. Available homes right now that start in the lower 300s.
Call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for all your needs at a price that's right for you. All backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of February, take advantage of a 24-month waiver on select 6, 7, 8, or 9 series tractors. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
And a special guest. Rico's in here.
Yo, what's up?
Rico, what's up? How you doing?
I just want to hop in for a little bit. You know, I'm going to join you guys for Thursday.
You
How
are
about
good.
Yeah.
Good.
I told Uncle Kev I'd stick around. So
Hey, Rico.
What?
Let me get down to your level.
Hey, Jay.
You know what, Jay, you know what?
Jay, what's up with that?
I woke up this morning and I got out of bed, had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone ring and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what's up with that. Ooh, yeah. What's up with that? What's up with that?
I'm glad I did that.
Ooh, yeah. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah.
AKA the Juggernaut. I love that song.
That's for you, buddy.
Jay, he told you what's up with that.
I can't believe it.
What did Rico tell him, Strick?
He told him what's up with that.
Oh, hell.
I woke up this morning and I got out of bed, had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what's up with that. Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that?
He said, she said, we said, me said, what's up with that? Who knew you knew? Say what voodoo? What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Yeah. That's it. That's just
Okay, we're done.
That's exactly.
That's it.
That's exactly who YouTube Bellevue West Thunderbirds are.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly.
I know you missed it.
No, I did not.
Sure
And the
you
fact
did.
that you got Austin to play it twice
Yep.
puts him in hot water. This is horrible.
I was already in hot water. I didn't understand why, but now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
So just I can't
It
believe
was necessary, right?
It was a necessary
Hey,
juggernaut.
great job.
Juggernaut, we're gonna miss
Hey.
you, Juggernaut.
Great job.
How many more days you with us?
Tomorrow will be my last day.
Man. Well, I need to give a shout out because the ribs was ribbing.
They were delicious.
They was falling straight off the bone.
It's fantastic.
Whew. Good job. Good call, Rico.
Thank you. Thank you.
There he is.
I'll be back. Drink with you guys. Maybe we play one more time. I don't know.
I ain't
Probably
gonna
have
be
to.
here.
Magic
Yeah, you
Johnson.
will. It's all good.
Magic Johnson. I ain't gonna be the Magic
AKA
Man.
the
I ain't gonna be
Juggernaut.
here.
Oh yeah, Juggernaut. He can't get through there. That big old head.
Hey, look, this is Rico right here. This is Rico.
Oh, Rico Suave.
Rico Suave.
Yeah, man, we're gonna miss Rico.
I had to
We
get
will.
down. I had to get down to his level.
Hey, Rico. Let me get down to your level.
What's up with that?
That will not.
What's up with that, Jay?
You probably can't top that. The first time you did it back
No.
in the prod room, Jay.
Yeah, I was crying. I was laughing so hard I was crying. Rico was mad though. He was
So what's
salty.
up, man? Where we at? What we got going on?
Well, I think we're done playing the song just for Jay Foreman's sake. So We can be done with that. Nebraska football hires a new general manager.
Say what?
By the name of Patrick Stewart. No, not that Patrick Stewart. Not Sir Patrick Stewart. Different Patrick Stewart. He was with the New England Patriots, most recently hired by Elliott Wolf. He was the director of pro personnel last year, but he does have some college experience. He's a Big Ten guy, graduated from Ohio State, started with 4 or 5 years there with the Buckeyes, went to Western Carolina and Temple. Then he's been in the NFL for a while since then with the Patriots, national scout for the Eagles for a couple of years, then worked for the Panthers as director of player personnel, then was promoted to vice president of player personnel for the next couple of years. He was then back with the Patriots last year as a senior personnel advisor. Of course, this means Sean Padden gets reassigned. He was the GM. He's still in the front office for Nebraska. But Jay, we'll start with you. How helpful is it for Nebraska to hire a guy like Patrick Stewart with the experience that he has? And what are some of the first things on his plate as general manager?
Ooh, I think this college football, time is more like the NFL. And so hiring somebody with recent, NFL experience, and obviously I think he had some crossover at some point with Coach Rule. So knows what Coach Rule likes, as far as the team and players and all that. So I think it's good. I think it's, a good hire just because you need, a GM. I know Sean was there and will be able to assist. And, they're trying to maybe like a two-headed monster, user experience, and then both can learn from each other and go from there. So I don't know all what a GM does. I'm sure it's, evaluating players, allocating certain number of players per room. And then obviously you got to manage, the lower half. So that's going to be, a full, like I'll say, like a family approach with it. Obviously Coach Rule and Sean and what's the new guy's name?
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. I was going to say Tim. And so I think, it's a good opportunity for him. It's a good opportunity, where you can add to your staff with experience and somebody being familiar. And it's going to be, I'm assuming he's going to bring some of the NFL, trends and present day NFL evaluation process, down to how you evaluate the transfer portal, high school players, your own players, salary cap, both, from the holistic of the allocation from the house agreement and what you do with the, NIL and stuff like that. So it's a new position that's taken off. I mean, you see schools hiring guys like this all the time, and it's not just operations and stuff like that. So managing the cap and what you're doing and coming up with some sort of formula, along with what Strick said last segment, is like the best thing you could do. Not the best thing you do. One of the things I would do is I would put as many eyes not emotionally tied to players to evaluate the players. Say, hey, man, this is a 2-guard. What do you really think? What's he really do? What's the upside? So forth and so on. Would you feel like when you met the surrounding people with him?
Yeah.
You think they could fit in
the counselors, the family?
Yeah. So hopefully he brings some of that. And
I'm not just talking about parents. You want to know who the friends are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like who he hang with, what type of decision making is he making? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just go to the surface of the stuff.
Yeah, you want to
because you can put the mask on.
Yeah, because that's what everybody. Right? Nobody's coming on a job interview like when in the portal and not putting up the best foot forward. So I think that's what he's going to do. Obviously, right now I think obviously you got to trim down the roster so it doesn't have to build a program and stuff like. So I think he can come in and do what GMs want to do versus if you have to start over, like a Purdue. I think would be harder job coming from there. But obviously coming to Nebraska where things are a little bit more ready made.
Yeah. Again, to me, as I look at the position, just because I'm still trying to figure out as well.
Yeah,
because it's changing.
Yeah, and
from year to
I think
year.
it depends on the school.
Yeah, it depends on the school, right?
Yeah, it depends on and also the ability to pay guys too. So I think Nebraska has a pretty good checkbook, so you're able to add more guys. To one, plug some of the holes that might have been open before.
So we don't know. We don't know what the actual job description is for him. Mm-hmm. So what I would say, to me, it would seem as though if I want to take it to a more of a business structure, that you have Rule as the CEO, and in all companies they have what they call the COO. the COO, the chief operations officer, is the one who is the extended arm implementer of the vision. Like the COO is not the visionary. The COO is go get the money, make sure the money goes, present the vision, allocate, and COO goes and makes sure that it's in line with what. So, what type of team we want to be, what type of, how do we, what style do we want to play? Are we gonna, I need you to kind of make sure that coaches are in line, make sure players fit within the scheme, make sure coaches are not getting out of bounds with regards to what they're offering, what they're presenting, and monitor all that so I can stay on par of making sure this program goes where it's supposed to go. That's what it would seem like to me. I don't know, but that's what it feels like.
You're gonna be lock and step with obviously with Coach Rule on the type of player you want, how to evaluate that player. Then you got the salary cap above your present team and what potentially could come down the pipe, because you also have to also project. All right, say you came in 2 years ago. Okay, does Ty Robinson stay around, or do we have to allocate?
Yeah. Who's leaving?
Who's leaving? Do we got to potentially have a pay bump coming up? Okay, well that affects the next year's cap, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so, all right, well we're looking at this player, or can we get 2 for 1? So that, I think and then obviously all the.
But he's Big Ten.
So
he knows.
He knows what a Big Ten. I mean, I think his Big Ten experience is a while ago, but
25
years ago. Yeah, so but I think,
but from there,
but being in the pros, he knows what styles. I think the best thing you can do is surround yourself with people that have all the same vision, have a clear, I guess, understanding of what type of player, what type of team you want to be, and then everybody push in the right direction to go get those players.
Yep.
And continue to develop. So you need as many as you can. And I think when you're a GM, you're just, obviously head coach is there, GM's there, and then they're working together, and that's the best thing. You see that all the time.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting because I think we just get some conflated terms here, because in the college football structure, the GM is like a half step below the head coach, whereas in the pros, it's above the head coach. So I think we need to make sure we keep that in mind, and that this won't be Patrick Stewart telling Matt Rule, here's what you have to work with. It's going to be Matt Rule telling Patrick Stewart, help me make this work, more than anything. I know there's always collaboration in the front offices, but this is where I think the role of director of pro personnel that Patrick Stewart was in the NFL is going to come into play a lot in Nebraska, because just looking at a couple, definitions from other teams kind of conglomerated here, a director of pro personnel manages a sports team's player personnel, including scouting, obviously, draft planning, maybe a little bit less so, but replace that with NIL and budgeting, maybe, and roster management. They also work with the coaching staff to support player development. I think a lot of that ends up getting folded into what Patrick Stewart's going to do in Nebraska. So it's probably going to be a pretty similar role, just with a different sort of power structure and slightly different economic structure.
Yeah, it's different. And then you see where they asked Mike Vrabel before the combine started, are you going to be able to have a hand in, or a big part into picking your team? He said, well, I wouldn't take the job unless I knew I would obviously have some pretty significant input. Well, the next day, Wolf, their GM, who's been under a lot of heat, he's like, oh, I'm making the final decision.
Yeah, because you don't want to end up with a Jason Kidd situation where you show up and the next thing you know,
right? But right there, you got to get. I think that's where you see some conflict there in the pros. Now you go back down to Jacksonville, where the former GM was right there, and the owner was like, he's around until I find a coach that wants another GM. Or Aaron Glenn, where they're starting over together, lock and step. I think right here you're going to get more of a partnership based on it, versus sometimes, the GM and the pros or the NFL is essentially like operating as a boss, and you just coach whoever I give you. You know what I mean? And that very rarely works. The best situation I could think of is Roseman in Philly, and obviously with Sirianni, the head coach, right? Where you got, like I said, we need this type of player. Go get it for me. Right now, you can't do it in season pickups, but also a good relationship is John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They have a clear understanding of what they want for their program, which is their franchise, and the head coach likes him. Now, it hasn't always worked out, but they also know when they make hard decisions, like with Deebo Samuel, they're having the same message. So
fair enough.
All that works. You'll win more than you lose.
Nebraska did that for the first time in a while last year, 7-6. So
there it is.
Let's keep that train running. Jay, it's your turn for the shootout with Strick coming up next. How you feeling?
Go get him, Jay.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling confident.
Because Stricky was garbage yesterday.
Yeah,
I need you to.
You're the lifeline, Stricky. You got to be on your game too.
Yeah, and you selling a lot of Wolf tickets.
Don't make me go get the Mario hat.
I dare you. Go do it.
Nah, next week.
Next
I'm gonna
week?
pull out Mario hat.
Ooh.
And power up.
All right.
On somebody.
You're in danger next week. We'll see if you're in danger today. Call now at 402-464-5685. That's our Honda of Lincoln hotline. You're taking on Jay in the fire away against Foreman when we get back to wrap up hour 1 of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of February, take advantage of 4.75% for up to 60 months on 400 and 600 series sprayers and seeding equipment. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention comedy fans, get ready for a night of non-stop laughs at the brand new Howler House Comedy Club. Brought to you by the team behind Kincaider Brewing, Sideshow Spirits, and Beer House, this underground comedy experience is happening beneath Beer House in the heart of the Haymarket. Enjoy Jason Vest and Layla Ingalls from The Kill Tony Show, as well as Will C this Friday. Shows are at 6:30 and 9 p.m. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for the brand new Howler House Comedy Club, opening this Friday at 8th and Peak.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring, jewelry makes the right statement. So if you want to knock her socks off, or anything else for that matter, skip the generic gifts and go straight for the bling. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Half of that is true. It is presented by Buffalo Wings and Rings. Really appreciate them and their sponsorship of this. On Wednesdays and Thursdays at 3:45, we do some trivia. Wednesdays, you get your shot at Strick, but today's a Thursday, which means you get your shot at Jay Foreman. Jay, did you win your first one last week?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I do.
All I do is win. DJ Khaled, Jay Foreman.
That's right. Give it to me.
Okay. We go to our Honda of Lincoln hotline. We welcome in Dave. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm basking in the sun.
We love to hear that. Hold on the line. We will get Jay Foreman his 4 questions, then we will get to you. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Jay, your round of the Shootout with Strick starts here. We'll tell you the category, too, though.
Yeah.
Okay. The category is actors in sports movies. Actors in sports movies.
Okay.
Okay. Jay, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He played Billy Bean in the movie Moneyball. George Clooney or Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt.
Yep. He played Daniel Rudy Rudiger in the movie Rudy. Sean Astin or Jon Favreau?
Sean Astin.
Yep. He played Jake Shuttlesworth in the movie He Got Game. Denzel Washington or Ray Allen?
Ray Allen.
No, it was Denzel. Jake Shuttlesworth, the dad.
Yeah, he tricked you, Mike.
Okay. Then he played Coach Norman Dale in the movie Hoosiers.
Oh, that's Gene Hackman. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Gene
Hackman. Hackman, it is. Jay Foreman played the game. That's a 4-point round.
Man,
Jay.
I thought that was
Ray
Ray Allen. I had it.
See, you should have talked to Stricky. I would have hooked you up. You was quick trigger.
You're confident.
I was.
Yeah.
Overzealous.
Overzealous.
Makes you feel any better? I got Rico with that one, too.
That makes it feel worse.
Dang. You're on his level.
Rico
Hit the
can't even
hydraulics.
get on
Get
the
down to
big kid
Rico's
rides
level.
at Worlds of Fun.
Well, that is a 4-point round for Jay Foreman. Dave, you need 4 to tie. You need a perfect round to win. You ready for it?
Can I have Strick as a lifeline?
For one question. One question only. That's the deal.
Okay.
Okay, Dave, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42. John David Washington or Chadwick Boseman?
Second one.
It was Boseman, yes. He played Coach Ken Carter in the movie Coach Carter. Samuel L. Jackson or Lawrence Fishburne?
Samuel.
Yep. He played Coach Bud Kilmer in the movie Varsity Blues. John Voight or Clint Eastwood?
John Voight.
Yep. And he played Coach Herb Brooks in the movie Miracle.
Oh, hell.
Well, I can picture him. I don't know what his name is.
You know this trick?
No.
Too late. Too late. You move Jay Foreman to 2-0. Dave, a valiant
that. What you
effort.
talking about?
A valiant effort, Dave.
What's
the
that dude's
answer,
name? What's his name?
Kurt Russell.
That's a hard one.
That was I didn't know that one. That was a good one.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Didn't I go undefeated?
You didn't get the answer.
You missed the
You didn't
last
get the
one.
last one,
He
which
went
is worth 2
Yeah, I know,
points.
but Jane missed one, didn't he?
No, but he got the
2-point
2-pointer.
question. He got the 2
Oh,
pointer.
Yeah.
That's right. The
I got
dagger.
the money ball.
He did. So
Right
Dave,
here.
a valiant effort. Thanks for playing. Try again soon.
All right.
That means we will play the tiebreaker question here. We'll ask Jay Foreman another question. Text line 402-464-5685. You will go over, under, or push the answer to Jay's question. Okay, Jay, here's the question. How many consecutive games did the 2002 Oakland Athletics, the subject of Moneyball, win to set the American League record for most consecutive wins? How many?
22.
Okay, Jay says 22. Over, under,
That was
or
it.
push Jay's answer. 402-464-5685. Stricky, what text are we giving the stricken to?
We're giving the stricken to lucky number 7 because
Lucky
you don't
number 7.
you don't
Over,
crap
under, push.
you don't crap on the first roll 7.
You do not. Okay, Texter 7, over under push. Jay Foreman's answer of 22 consecutive wins for the 2002 Oakland Athletics. We'll get the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. 1 hour of On the Block down on a Thursday. Hour 2 comes your way next.
Guess what?
Thirsty Thursday.
You know
Evan
it.
Bland.
Stricky's excited.
We're in for it. Come back with us.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine, a light breeze, an afternoon high around 64. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a light breeze, and a low around 40. And tomorrow we'll see mainly sunny skies, but it will be breezy. Afternoon high around 65. I'm meteorologist Kyle Pucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Attention comedy fans, get ready for a night of non-stop laughs at the brand new Howler House Comedy Club. Brought to you by the team behind Kincaidor Brewing, Sideshow Spirits, and Beer House, this underground comedy experience is happening beneath Beer House in the heart of the Haymarket. Enjoy Jason Vest and Layla Ingalls from The Kill Tony Show, as well as Will C this Friday. Shows are at 6:30 and 9 p.m. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for the brand new Howler House Comedy Club, opening this Friday at 8th and P.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh my goodness! I'd give it a 9. I'd give it a solid 9. Here we go.
You know what I would give it?
Excellent. Beautiful, Clark.
Those sounds you hear are Pop Pop Fizz Fizz, courtesy of Kevin Meyer, Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Uncle Kev, what's good? How you doing?
Good, fellas. How are you?
Great. Do you know how many games the 2002 Oakland Athletics won consecutively, setting a new American League record.
How many consecutive games they won?
Yes.
I'm going to say a max of 2.
2002 A's won
2002. I thought you were like last year.
The Moneyball A's.
I'm going to go with a 16-game winning streak.
Jay Foreman said 22. The answer is 20. 20 consecutive games for the Moneyball A's. So, Dave, you are the winner of the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll put your name down. Got 30 days to stop by the station and go ahead and pick that up. This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Most importantly for us right now, Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Myers Cork and Bottle, located with the bright neon sign on the corner of 13th and South, with special guest Rico making his second appearance on the show today. Welcome back, Rico.
Hey, yo, what's good with it?
It's
I'm
not
excited
his
to be back.
second appearance. He actually used to be a regular Thirsty Thursday attendee.
I was here all the time. Well,
who
when I turned, well, I was 21 when I first. Yeah, no, we good. I've been here all the time.
Who came around to wine quicker, Rico or me?
I would say, boy, that's a great question, because our time together has been more consistent. My time with Rico in Thirsty Thursday was a little more intermittent.
Gotcha.
But I would say both of you have come around and make me a very proud Uncle Kev.
That was very diplomatic of you, but we need an actual answer.
Well, I don't know. Let's try this and find out.
Deal.
Here we go.
All right.
What are we starting with?
Let's start with the beer. And so, we've been trying to will spring into existence, and it's working. And so I want to keep that going. Now, I know that I pronounced on the air that I have kind of fallen out of love with hoppy beers. That's all I drank for quite a long time, and I just kind of needed a reset. So mostly I've just been the beer. When I do have a beer, it's going to be more of a lager, pilsner type of thing. But
a little smoother.
Yeah, and just kind of more beer, However, this is called Dripping Sun.
Ooh.
So sticking with this theme of bringing spring alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a collaborative
super hoppy
IPA from Fair State Brewing and another brewery called Hopewell. And I thought, hey, we can hope well for good weather. And so we're just gonna roll with this and
Uncle
see how we do.
Kev,
Yeah.
If you want to be Matt McClung, you drink this. Super hoppy.
That's right. He is super hoppy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. How dare you? I've never been the biggest fan of the IPAs, but as I've done this with you, although it's been a while, I've come around to it. Still not, I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to order one, but if I do get one like this one, I mean, I'm gonna drink it and I'm gonna enjoy it. This is like you said, super hoppy, but still really good.
Is it a patio pounder, Austin?
Trending that direction, and not maybe to the Pilsner Lager degree, but I was surprised with how smooth this was. When you say IPA, I mean, you get a kind of thought in your head.
The bitter beer face
thought. Bitter beer face
like,
thought. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this is sippable. This is wonderful, like spring, summer vibes like you're going for.
Yeah, I could see spring. I could see right now sitting on the pork patios in this type of weather. And I don't see hot summer on the golf course. Not this.
Yeah, no, it's not that kind of beer. I think it has a little bit of what they call a sort of a resiny quality. So it does have the bitterness to it, which hops are supposed to. They're actually measured by what's called IBUs, or International Bitters Units. But how they describe this is a tantalizing and fruity IPA to crush while you dream of longer, sunnier days. And I thought, perfect. Let's keep it going. And, I actually am liking this. And again, but for me, plus these are coming in at 7%. So it's more of a sipper.
7%.
The first couple sips, you get that citrusy, maybe kind of a bitter lemon rind type of a thing. But then the fruitiness kind of starts to come around a little bit.
I was going to ask what fruit you were getting, because I wasn't getting a whole lot initially. I get the lemon color. This is a beautiful yellow sort of IPA. I mean, get the sunshine. I get the lemon. Maybe I'm just easily suggestible, but I get the lemon now that you mentioned it. I was struggling for a minute.
It's less of a lemon sour, but more of like a lemon peel.
Yeah.
Sort of like a lemon zest sort of a thing.
Just shred up the outside of the lemon into the beer real quick.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Did any of your kids eat the peels of fruit like oranges?
No. I tried lying to my kid and saying, "Oh, it's healthy for you," and they both took a bite and they disliked it a lot.
They noped out of that. Did your kid like the peel?
Well, he doesn't like it, but he just always needs to be doing something. And he's got this little contraption that my father-in-law made for him that he can walk up and he can reach the counter and everything. And on our main kitchen counter, we just have a bowl of fruit, usually oranges, bananas, apples in there occasionally. And I'll just reach in, take a bite. It's what I do. I eat oranges.
Yeah.
Except he marks them all. And the other day, he just tore like a quarter of the peel off with his mouth and
then
spit it out.
And then went,
He was like,
yeah,
no.
like, I'm not doing that.
I thought you were going to say that your
but it
son
hasn't
just,
stopped him from doing it more since then.
I thought you were going to say you took a bite out of a banana. It's still in the peel.
No, my son is not Will Levis. Thank you.
Just like, "Arr."
The, I like the let them approach, let them learn approach. And he's going to figure out what fruits need to be peeled and what fruits don't. And it's just going to be you don't have to worry about him injuring himself. He'll just figure it out on his own and problem solve. And I think that's lacking in today's parenting methodology. So I applaud you for that.
When did you introduce spicy foods to your kids?
Gosh, that's a great question.
Yeah, big grill guy.
I mean, I can remember grilling a New York strip for my son when he could barely walk. He's in the high chair. And we would
living right.
We would cut it up, little tiny pieces so he could feed himself. And the kid would eat an entire 16-ounce New York strip.
Good.
And want some more.
That's KJ right now. We got a whole bunch of steaks in the freezer and we're just
Can
cooking them up,
Baseball
and I'm like,
Beckett do that?
Here you go.
Can Baseball Beckett?
I've had to conveniently stretch or twist the truth a little bit. If you don't call it sausage, he's not going to eat it.
It has
it's all
even if it's chicken, you got to call it sausage.
Beckett, here's some white sausage. You give him a steak. Hey, Beckett, here's some cow sausage. He's like, okay, I'm in. We're going to do this. He loves breakfast sausage. The boy will pound breakfast sausage every morning. But chicken's kind of hit or miss. Loves some
shaky.
chicken, a little shaky. He'll do chicken. Turkey wasn't a big fan of. Ham, but I had to call it pink sausage. I couldn't call it ham.
Okay.
But he's getting there. He's coming around to it. Right now he's big blueberries and cheese sticks.
Would you say meat for the kids? And they're usually in on it. We're like, yeah, it's meat. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Except one time they asked where ground beef came from, and we just come back from the farm. And I was like, you remember those cows we saw coming in? And they're like, yeah. I go, that's where it comes from. It took a little bit for them to get back to it. It was probably a bad idea, but it's all right.
It's like the old Kingsford commercials. No, the A1 commercials. What is ground beef? It's chopped steak. Hamburger is chopped steak. Is what they say. And then, so they're trying to get people to put A1 on their hamburgers.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
It's all good because my kids are eating hot Cheetos right now. Because my wife is
no good.
When Rachel's pregnant,
tear their stomach up.
Preach, Jakey.
She loves spicy food. I mean, she loves spicy food all the time, but when she's pregnant, especially loves spicy food. So the kids want to eat spicy stuff. So we got like spicy Doritos, and they're like, "Oh, okay,
like the purple,
we'll eat
like
those."
Sweet chili.
No, just like the darker red.
You're gonna lead them into the
and they love that. And they'll every once in a while they'll eat some hot Cheetos, but not like all the time. They're like, "Hey, it's too hot for us." But there's a couple seasonings that I put on some steaks. Like, this is spicy. I go, no, it's not. It's not spicy. And Rachel had some jalapenos on her nachos the other day. And KJ is like, oh, I want a pepper. I go, no, you don't. No,
you give him one?
No, you don't. We didn't. No. We're gotta get a little older.
You would have spit it out.
Just that would have been a problem.
Spicy's in the eye of the beholder.
my youngest brother, one of the first times my dad gave him a sip of a Diet Mountain Dew, described it as spicy.
My son described peppermint gum as spicy.
That's what my kids. Yep.
Except it was feisty.
Yep.
Feisty.
Oh, that's feisty.
That's feisty.
I love that. Oh, also, Kevin, I will have to slightly disappoint you as we are getting ready to move on to the wine. Wife made what were we having? I don't remember what we were having for supper that night, but we wanted a glass of wine with it. We had one of the leftovers in the fridge that you so kindly sent home, and I had a couple sips of it. I'm like, ooh, she got the Spanish. I went and checked. It was Italian.
Oh, well.
I biffed it.
You were close.
I biffed it. I failed. Still old world wine, but
it's Euro. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. And the languages are very similar. So, I think you're good. You get a get out of jail free card by me.
It's like I drove into the right neighborhood, but I parked in the wrong driveway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty much what I did.
That's all right. As long as the wine was good and the food was good, that's all that matters.
It
baby.
was. Oh, absolutely. Right. So what is this red we're sipping on today?
So we had the Zinfandel a couple weeks ago. This is Brady Vineyard. And he is a Texas winemaker and was one of the inaugural students of the Texas College of Viticulture and Enology. And for those of you playing at home, Viticulture is the study of grape growing, and enology is the study of wine making.
OEN?
OEN. And the reason they call it viticulture is that the species of the traditional wine grape varieties are from a species called Vitis vinifera, and that's where the term comes from. So when you hear Merlot, you hear Cabernet, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, those are all part of that Vitis vinifera species of wine grape. And so he won a bunch of awards in Texas for Texas winemaking, and then got hired away by a guy by the name of Robert Hall to Paso Robles. And he made wine for Robert Hall for quite some time, decided to buy his own land and start his own deal. And so all of his wines are estate grown, meaning that he's not sourcing grapes from anywhere other than what he grows himself. So it really has his fingerprint on it from start to finish. It is our new winery of the month, and this is a cab. So again, we're keeping the springtime alive. There's an old saying in the wine world with pairings: a cab and a slab. So a good steak, good cut of beef, and a good Cabernet are like, the wine brings the food up a level, the food brings the wine up a level, and the whole becomes greater than the sum of the parts. And I'm all about that.
This is the type of wine that I want to drink while I got my smoker going in the backyard.
Heck yeah.
With the kids playing in the pool.
Heck yeah.
Like, and you just stand there, and you just watching me, just like, you guys are crazy.
Y'all are just talking. Let me see what's happening.
Yeah, tell us about it, Strick. You are the expert. Sorry, we stole the floor from you.
Little swishy swish.
Look at him trying to be a professional. Look at this guy.
Okay.
Now go again.
It's kind of peppery.
Second
one more time.
Now
kind of peppery.
Because that rinsed your mouth from the IPA, and now you're really going to
Now
taste
you're
the
getting
wine.
it. It's good.
Ooh.
It's good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
I can't say it's a Strix pick yet, but it is definitely good. I'm gonna have to take a little extra.
What do you like about it?
You know what this
What
is?
do you like about it?
I like it that it's got a nice heavy peppery, it's bold, but not that bold that kind of leaves you like, ooh.
It's not punching you in the mouth.
Right. Pause. Yeah.
That wasn't a pause.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to punch you in the mouth.
You know what? This might not be a Strix pick, but this is a Rico's Wreck. That's what that is.
Oh, snap.
Whoa.
I love
Hey,
it.
yo.
I love it. Well, what I'm finding is each sip I take, I like it more and more. And
That's what I say.
yeah. And, so part of it is palate acclimation. Part of it is just, the wine is breathing as we're sitting here. And Paso Robles, that's Central Coast. So that's the Santa Barbara area, San Luis Obispo, Santa Ynez. Strick used to live there. And the place that hasn't been the same since.
It has not.
And
took a step down.
These are on sale for $22.99.
Ooh.
And I just
stop it. Now that's a Strix pick.
There you go.
No, you can't. It's already
$22.99. No,
it's already
no
mine.
reg.
It's already mine.
The juggernaut.
So Rico's Wreck.
Rico's Wreck.
Rico's going away present. Strick.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
That's right. Yeah, this is going to be Rico's last Thursday. I'm going to miss you, nephew. I appreciate knowing you, and don't be a stranger.
It's been a blast, man. I will not be a stranger. I'll be stopping by the shop plenty.
Notice he didn't say he won't be strange. He just won't be a stranger.
Oh, I'm always strange.
Oh, he's strange, and that's what we love about Rico.
Exactly.
He owns the strangeness.
A lot of tannins, and they've been macerated and all that. I remember words.
Yeah, throwing out the lingo.
Words.
I love it.
I got
love
words.
it. I'm
I know
so
words.
I'm so proud.
His new nickname, Ram Man.
Ram Man?
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
I thought he was still the Juggernaut.
Well, the Juggernaut and Ram Man are like the same. They both got the helmet heads.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go to our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here. Kevin, Money G in Kansas is asking that you bring in a good Irish beer sometime for St. Patrick's Day. We know that you're going to be out for a couple weeks here in business or pleasure, whichever. It's up to you.
It's going to be fun.
When you look ahead to St. Patrick's Day, what's the setup for you? Are you going Irish beer? Are you going corned beef? Are you all in on it? You out on it? Where are you at with St. Patrick's Day?
I am a sideline participant. So if they've got some corned beef and cabbage, I will partake. I'm not going to go out of my way to make it. Now, I love a good Guinness. I love a good Harp. I love Irish beers in general. But again, it's not one of those beers that I seek out on the daily. But if it's there available and we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, I will partake.
What's a better holiday for beer consumption? St. Patrick's Day or Oktoberfest? Oktoberfest is
Oktoberfest by far. There is more beer consumed.
Okay,
but which is better to drink beer at? Where's the better beer located?
Ooh, I tell you what, I would have to say I love a good traditional German lager. To me, that's my Mount Rushmore of beers.
All 4 of them?
No.
Okay, what are your Mount Rushmore beers? Let's put you on the spot.
Really?
A
Okay.
good old German lager is one of them.
Good old German
Establish
lager. I would
that.
say something like a Hocker Shore.
Hakatua.
Bless you.
Don't even
Stop.
It's tricky. And then if I'm going amber, I'm gonna go like Odell's 90 shilling. Odell's 90 shilling.
Diller Odell's 90 shilling.
Pardon?
Diller Odell's 90 shilling.
No, just Odell's.
Shout out Diller Odell.
Yeah. And let's see, for an IPA, my go-to IPA, I would have to say would be Juicy Bits from WeldWorks out of Greeley, Colorado. And then for a stout, I think I would just have to go. Guinness makes their traditional Irish stout that you get in Europe. We don't see it here. It's what they call the FES stout.
Why don't we get it here?
Our Guinness that we get here is brewed in Canada. And they brew it for the American market, but occasionally they do bring in what they bring it to the U.S. and they call it the FES or foreign extra stout, and that's the true Guinness recipe that you would get in a pub in Ireland. That would be my Mount Rushmore.
You've had it?
I have.
How does
you split the G?
I haven't tried splitting the G, but I'm going to.
I bet
For
you
those of you playing at home, you take a drink without looking at the glass, and if you can get the water or the beer level to split the G in Guinness, I think it's just good luck. Right?
Yeah, I think it's just.
Did you measure the top of the foam or the beer level? How do we determine that?
I think it's got to be the beer level because the foam will dissipate.
Yeah.
And mostly when you sip it down, you're going to get that foam first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they get rid of the top and then you just grab it and you just go and you don't stop. You just keep going and then you put it down. Foam goes down. And then if you split the G, you got it.
Yeah. It's go buy a lottery ticket. It's going to be your lucky day.
This will surprise none of you. I have never done that in my life. So.
Well, you learn something new every day, Austin. And so now you have a new goal for St. Patty's Day.
Okay, when you say, though, foreign extra stout.
That's just what they call it for the U.S. market.
Gotcha. It's not like the wines where it's like dry and extra dry or super dry.
No, they just label it that way because so we've got Guinness Extra Stout that we get here, and then they have the Guinness Draft. And the Draft comes with what's called a widget, when it's a nitrogen packet in the bottom.
I know one of those on your phone.
Fair enough. Except your phone doesn't have nitrogen in it. The widget does.
There you go.
And so when you pop the can on a bottle of Guinness Draft, it releases that nitrogen and gives it that creamy style. And those beers remarkably are low in alcohol and low in calories. They're dark, so you automatically think they're going to be boozy and hopped up and whatnot, but they're not. They're actually about 100 calories and only come in at around 4%.
Whoa!
Now the extra stout, which comes in the bottles, is around 6 and change, and it's going to have some more oomph to it, but it's not the same recipe that you get in a pub in Ireland. That's what
I was there
here. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is that one of the ones you could do one of those shooters where you could do your like Austin 360? What's his name?
Stone Cold Steve.
Stone Cold Steve. And then
just bang the cans together.
Is that one of those types?
I don't think so. I think the widget would throw that off because of that little nitrogen packet at the bottom.
So you get shot in the face. Pause.
What?
How are your shotgunning skills?
I haven't done it in a long time. In college,
he used to do it all the time.
In college, the old man could throw down. In college, the old man could throw down.
Did you ever do the
I'm
big
older
bong?
and wiser now. Oh yeah.
What are we doing?
Oh yeah.
What is happening?
Stricky did the bong too.
Yeah.
Are we still talking beer?
We're talking the funnel.
beer. Are we still talking beer?
Yeah. No, the funnel and the big tube, and your buddy pours the beer in there. And
you got to hold it. And then yeah.
Oh, I would drown. I would.
Did you ever do the upside down bong?
Where they
kind of
keg stands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know what they're called. I just watched.
Heck yeah.
I didn't know what they were called. Don't play dumb straight.
I
know you're pro.
I was innocent when I was in college.
Beer bong, shotgunning beers, cake stand. All of that.
Good thing you weren't on camera.
Welcome to Carney. That's UNK, baby.
Yeah.
Stricky did not do any. This is how I was on O Street whenever I saw Uncle Kevy. I would just be walking, standing outside, looking like this.
Oh, so innocent. Never drank.
hey guys, Uncle Kevy would come through and push me like a bully.
You trying to say Uncle Kev was a bully?
Bully.
He would never.
No.
Uncle Kev was a
He
bully,
would never.
man.
No.
I
Sweet
saw it.
man.
He pushed on me. I was like, dang, Uncle Kev, I just want to hang out with you, buddy.
I was your friend, man. I was everybody's friend.
You still are, in fact.
Yeah, that's right.
If you believe Stricky was innocent.
I got a ski lodge in Montana to sell you. But speaking of Tom Brady, like, there's no way he and Matthew Stafford just innocently crossed paths at the ski lodge in Montana, right? Like, that was arranged, wasn't it?
That's a great question. I don't think anything happens by accident anymore. Not in this day and age.
No,
because they got entourage.
Everything is in the Matrix, my boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Tom Brady doesn't go
Everything
to
is in the Matrix, man. You gotta just be able to see the writing on the wall.
Okay, I just want to follow up on.
I think he was Cypher in the Matrix. Yeah,
Think
you
so?
You were the traitor.
That's so.
Wow.
Not Tricky Stricky. Not Shaky Jakey.
Shaky Jakey, definitely. Shaky Jakey. I'm sorry.
Is this what Thursday has devolved into?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we've
All the time.
circled the drain, and
We used to talk about wine and beer the entire time, and now we're talking about the Matrix and ski
Because
lodges.
the beer and the wine is kicking in.
Ridiculous.
I'm just happy to be here.
We're just happy to have you here. We're trying to soak in every moment we can because we're going to miss you for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Where
I
are you going?
appreciate
Trying to
that.
enjoy it.
Oh, just a little vacay. Me and the Mrs. Spring break.
Oh, you going back to the islands?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I
love hearing about those island trips.
What's your favorite top 3 movies, any genre?
Favorite top 3. Pulp Fiction is number 1, hands down.
Wow. What are you drinking on Pulp Fiction?
I think I'm drinking this Brady Cabernet.
Okay.
I think
Like it?
And let's see.
Next
would be
English. Do you speak it? Slightly censored.
No.
Is Top Gun in any of those?
It's not
Hunt for Red October in any of those?
It's not. Although I did just watch the new Top Gun last vacation I took, and I loved it.
That's a good
So
one.
good.
Yes,
So
I
good.
loved
Do
it.
you think it's a dream and that he actually died? Or
That's
do
what
you
people
think
say.
it actually happened?
Who?
I don't know.
Tom Cruise, Maverick.
That's what people say.
Because some people are saying this is like Tom Cruise's life flashed before his eyes. He's like having a dream as
Oh.
he's dying.
I mean, well, but then you bring in the whole Goose's son, and then and then I don't know, the woman who runs the bar and sails the boat. She's no relation to Kelly McGillis, so I think she's new, and so I think it's a real deal.
But she's the one from that they told the story about when he said, "You did Penny Benjamin." When Goose and him were having a conversation.
Oh, that's her?
That was her.
Oh, I don't
so
know.
that was the conversation they were having together, and it was that she's Penny Benjamin, the one that they talked about,
It
the
has
general's
been so long.
daughter.
Okay, so number
Yeah.
2, Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh,
That's
Yep.
a good one.
that's a good
Yeah,
one, my
that's a
boy.
good one.
And then I'm gonna have to say number 3. I'm gonna go
The
Forrest,
Fifth Element?
Forrest Gump.
Really?
Forrest Gump. That's a movie.
He likes
Life
the
is
Fifth
like a
Element.
box of
Every
chocolates.
The Fifth Element
every
is great. I
time
ain't
it
gonna lie.
comes on, I watch it and I enjoy it each time. And there's
It's
a
like
lot
a
of,
box of chocolates.
there's a lot of layers to that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just, and you don't get them all the first.
Life
2
is
or
like
3
a box of chocolates. Forrest Gump is like an onion.
Forrest Gump used to be on
Valuable
A&E.
layers.
Forrest Gump
Yeah.
used to be on A&E every like 3 hours.
Well, that's it. It just depends on if you like shrimp scampi, shrimp kebab,
Gumbo.
shrimp gumbo, fried shrimp.
I love Bubba.
boiled
Yeah.
shrimp.
Bubba was my boy.
Sauteed shrimp fricassee.
I think that's about all you do is shrimp.
That's awesome. We got to get out of here. We got Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald coming up next. Don't forget, stop by Myers Cork and Bottle on 13th and South. It'll be 3 weeks till we hear from you again, Kev. Enjoy vacation. We'll talk to you again in the future.
Appreciate you, fellas.
More on the block in just a moment.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off on Piedmontese brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, and at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 11th annual Street Festival. The party starts on Saturday, March 15th, with tons of giveaways, a kilt contest, great Irish food, and green beer, and continues on Monday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 11 a.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. on Monday, and the street party starts at 2 p.m. both days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's 8th and P in the Haymarket.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I am Austin Orman. We are headed to our VIP line brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We welcome in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. We'll talk some Husker football, some Husker baseball. Evan, is starting to actually feel like Arizona and in Louisiana where the Husker baseball team has played recently. About dang time here in Lincoln.
I guess they brought the weather back with them. The grass has got a little catching up to do, but we're getting there.
Let's start with Husker baseball. I know you heard from Will Bolt after the weekend that was in Louisiana. What did Coach Bolt take away from the weekend down south?
I mean, a good Friday with Mason McConaughey bouncing back, and I think that was the kind of game they feel like they could play. And Saturday was a rough one, and as he said afterward, and he said again this week, he said, one bad day cost him 2 games, and specifically offensively, that's been something that's been hit and miss, so to speak, no pun intended, for the first couple of weekends. And on Saturday, just not a lot of aggressiveness. I mean, some strikeouts, you're not taking walks. And, it's interesting because right now Nebraska is in the midst of 5 days without a game. It's the longest stretch, at least by the schedule, that they'll have all season to work on some things without actual action taking place. So he felt like it was a good sort of opportunity to challenge certain guys, go a little bit deeper, maybe on some swings with others, just sort of individualizing the reaction to what the weekend was. So I think that's, they're 3-4. They have the win against Vanderbilt, and there's this kind of the sense that they probably could have won another game or two, especially with generally how well the pitching has done. The defense outside of whoever's been on the mound has yet to commit an error. So there's a lot to like, and they just feel like maybe they've left a game or two out there. So I'm going to be looking for some more lineup tweaks here this weekend as they sort of figure out who their guys are, try to get some guys going. And that's, to me, sort of the X factor for this team is if they can be consistent in terms of pitching and defense, then they'll go as the bats go, with clutch hits, with power, with drawing walks, and they feel like they're a lot better than they've shown to this point, and they'll have a chance to, show some progress against some pretty good pitching in Frisco.
Who or what are some of those tweaks that you might be looking to in the lineup?
Well, I mean, you've seen them try a lot of things, but moving guys around in terms of their defensive positions as well as just guys in and out of the lineup. I mean, we saw a true freshman infielder, Devin Nunez, come in and get the start in the later game last Saturday because he was one of the few guys who was going well. I mean, he had a home run in the early game and got a couple hits in the second one. So do they continue to ride with him, or was that more of a short-term situation? We've seen them try Caden Brumbaugh in center and as well as second, where he's accustomed to being. What does that look like? Do you give a guy like Robbie Bolin a little bit more look in the outfield? How much rope do you give Cale Frost, who's still looking for his first hit as a Husker through 2 weekends? Max Butenbach's been in and out of the lineup a little bit. So I think that's, what they'd like to do is to have 4 or 5 guys that are sort of your mainstays and then ride the hot bat with the other handful of hitters. And there really hasn't been a lot of heat to work with at this point. So I think that's still kind of what they're looking for. History would say that Nebraska bats tend to heat up with the weather. So maybe that's something that happens this weekend. Then again, you're facing some pretty good arms Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against their opponents. So my hunch is they're going to continue to play matchups and try a few different things so that by the time Big Ten play rolls around here in a week, that they'll have a better sense of who they can rely on more regularly in that lineup.
You talk about the weekend to come in Frisco. I mean, some really good competition. Kansas State, Sam Houston, and of course, number 2 LSU, who was defeated in a game by the Omaha Mavericks, who had no-hit the Tigers through 8 innings before they make a little bit of a comeback. How does this field for Nebraska stack up to what they saw in Tempe? Is it bigger opportunity, better opportunity, similar level?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty similar. You kind of got a little bit of everything. You've got a Sam Houston team that's 2-6. They haven't gotten off to the start that they want, but they generally in the last decade have been a pretty successful warmer weather school. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, LSU has been the purple and gold standard for college baseball for a while. CWS champs a couple years ago, and they look just loaded this year. They had probably the nation's best portal class, one of the top high school hauls as well, along with guys that they brought back from a regional team. So that's, as we saw, and you mentioned the Omaha loss, like they're not infallible, but that's going to be a team that's going to be hard to beat as well. And then Kansas State, I mean, that was a super regional team a year ago, and they looked like they got off to a slow start to the season, but then they respond by beating 3 ranked teams in 3 days down in Arlington. So that's a squad I think that's going to make some noise. Nebraska's going to get their chances against the Wildcats during some midweek games down the road as well. And I think people will remember, Jackson Brockett's no-hitter came against Kansas State, and he's going to get that chance on Sunday to follow up and see what that sequel might look like. So it's absolutely a difficult slate, a lot of tough pitching. So if you're talking about Nebraska trying to get back on track in terms of the offense, it's going to be tough this weekend. It'll get a little easier with the midweek opportunities coming up. And then you've got Washington next weekend, which hasn't been outstanding by any means. So I think you probably you look for improvement, but also sort of realize that you're probably not going to get the big breakout this weekend just because of the caliber of the opposition.
You mentioned that no-hitter Jackson Brockett threw against Kansas State. I'm gonna direct our readers to Omaha.com and find the piece that you put up about Greg Sharp after his passing and everything that he did with and for Husker baseball. Of course, the Brockett no-hitter came on the heels of the news that Greg had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Great read. First of all, just thank you for that piece, Evan. I really liked that as a fantastic read. Unfortunate as it was that it had to be written. But what was it that the coaching staff has seen from Jackson Brockett or didn't see from Will Walsh against Louisiana that led to Jackson Brockett getting the Sunday nod this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you think back to the opening 4-game weekend, and it was a coin flip, as Will Bolt said, between Will Walsh and Jackson Brockett. And in a lot of ways, they're similar. A couple senior left-handed pitchers gotten better as their careers have gone on. But in some ways, they're a little different, too. I mean, Walsh is a little bit of a softer thrower, more soft contact. Brockett, when he's on, is getting more swing and miss stuff. And so they both had great first weekends, and Nebraska gave Walsh the opportunity against Louisiana. That didn't go so well, as Will Bolt said. So now it's going to be Brockett's turn to go out and do that. And I think you talk to like scouts and people that see why he's so effective. One of the reasons is because of his release point. It's like it's abnormally close to home plate, so he's giving hitters less of an opportunity to react to his pitches than what maybe your standard college pitcher would. So he looked really strong in that first weekend, had a brief relief appearance last weekend, and so now this is his chance to make his case and maybe stake his hold on that Sunday role moving forward. And so you would think it'll be him or Will Walsh in that Sunday spot. Maybe the other guy moves into a midweek starter role or potentially long relief if somebody else emerges as well. But it's a big opportunity for Brockett, and obviously he's shown he can do it. He's done it before against this particular lineup, although it's looking different than what came to Haymarket Park last May. And I think Nebraska feels pretty good about Friday and Saturday. And so if they can maybe add a little bit more confidence into who that Sunday guy will be going into league play, they wouldn't complain.
One more thing on the Husker baseball weekend before we move on to a little bit of Husker football news here, Evan. The rotation is set, like we said, it's McConaughey, Horn, and then Jackson Brockett on Sunday. Was there ever any talk of Nebraska pushing Mason McConaughey back a day to face LSU? What does the staff think about Ty Horn to give him the crack at the Tigers instead of their ace in McConaughey?
Yeah, it's funny. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago, too, when it was saying, like, well, okay, well, McConaughey's the Friday guy, but they're playing Vanderbilt on Saturday, so do you hold him for that? And I think they did this time what they did then, which was, hey, this is our rotation. Our Friday guy is our Friday guy. And if you get too, cute with your order, then you're a little bit off for conference play. And as big a deal as this weekend is and a chance to beat LSU is, Nebraska equally values getting off to a good start in the Big Ten and getting rolling there. So they would have to deal with, I guess, some of the rest issues that come with that. So I think they feel like let's go out and win Friday night. That's their approach to things. I also think it's a testament to what they think Ty Horn can be. I mean, he's had 2 pretty good starts. He's one of their biggest velocity pitchers. He can throw 4, maybe 5 pitches for strikes when he needs to. He was a top high school recruit, getting looked at by just about everybody. So I don't think the stage would be too big for him to keep Nebraska in things. Obviously, he was the starter when they beat Vanderbilt a couple weeks ago. So I think you keep your Friday guy, let Horn sort of grow into that Saturday role. He's going to have some big chances and opportunities for Nebraska here this season, and we'll see what the kids got. It should be fun.
We'll see on Saturday for Ty Horn against LSU, of course, the rest of Nebraska as well down in Frisco. We're talking with Evan Blandy of the Omaha World Herald here on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Let's switch gears to Husker football. Evan, the news that broke not that long ago is that Nebraska football has a new general manager. It was Sean Padden filling that role. He's been reassigned inside the front office, handling more of that big picture stuff. But Matt Rule taps a man he's familiar with from his time with the Carolina Panthers, a guy with NFL experience beyond that, too, and Patrick Stewart to be the general manager of the program. What do you see, Patrick Stewart's main responsibilities being? What does he have to wrap his mind around as the first sort of orders of business?
Well, first of all, we're not talking about the Star Trek captain from Next Generation, that actor. Like, it's not Jean-Luc. So I had to think about that once or twice last night. But no, it's a sign of the times. Like, and you've seen some other big general manager hires here in college football in the offseason. Bill Belichick in North Carolina, made a big hire, and they're paying their GM 7 figures to do what he does. Oklahoma made a big hire recently, and so here comes Nebraska jumping on board, and I think it's in response to what's coming with the revenue sharing, and we'll see if the House settlement becomes finalized here in April. And I know Nebraska and pretty much everybody have contingencies in place if it passes, if there's a modified version of that, and so you need somebody as we see college football move toward an NFL model, it only makes sense that you're seeing these administrators come in with pro experience. So you're going to be talking about resource allocation specific to rev share, and what does that look like, and sort of this salary cap of sorts. How do you spread that out? He was an NFL scout and player personnel guy, so he'll have a say in evaluation, not just with high school recruits, but out of the portal every year as that becomes more prevalent and more money becomes staked to these decisions. So, again, Nebraska's everybody's moving closer to what that NFL model looks like. And here's a guy who had a lot of success with New England and was with Philadelphia, which obviously has been a model organization, and he knows Matt Rule from his time in Carolina too. So I think the name of the game is you come with a working background of what's worked at the NFL level, but also sort of a big picture flexibility and understanding that things are probably going to change, and whoever adapts and is able to adjust quicker and smarter is probably going to have that edge. And they believe Pat Stewart can be somebody who can help lead Nebraska in that way.
I do appreciate you saying Pat Stewart instead of Patrick, because I will continue to refer to him as Jean-Luc Picard otherwise. So yes, it is Pat Stewart, not Patrick Stewart. A name that we did know, Evan, that they got talked about a little bit last year, officially here on campus as a member of Nebraska football's staff, is Phil Snow. Media had a chance to hear from Coach Snow. What does it sound like his role is going to be with this football program now that you got to hear from him?
Yeah, I think what Matt Rule has laid out previously, I think he's going to be a collaborator on that defensive side. And we're talking about college football moving into more of a pro model. Well, the role of a head coach is evolving as much as anything else. And so I think what Matt Rule's seen in the last couple of years back in the college game is that you're the head coach, but really you're about 1,000 different things. You're a fundraiser, you're a spokesperson, an ambassador, you do all kinds of different things. And so how much more valuable then is it to bring in a guy like Snow, who he's worked with and known for more than 20 years, to help give insight to the defense, to help game plan. I think so all that goes into it. It's a hire that probably would not have been made 2 or 3 years ago before the rule changed to allow for unlimited coaching. But, Snow can come in and he doesn't have to worry about going on the road and recruiting or doing these things. And yet he can still be an on the field coach and provide, a career's worth of experience to what Nebraska's doing defensively. So we talk about Matt Rule bringing in 3 new coordinators, essentially Dana Holgerson on offense, Mike Eckler on special teams, John Butler on the defensive side. But really, it's almost like 3.5, because Snow's been a DC for much of his career. He's going to have a good amount of input into what Nebraska does moving forward. And I thought we could tell that from our chat with him, earlier this week. He knows what he wants, but I think he also understands too that you adapt to personnel, you're flexible in how you coach. And I think him adding a voice to those meetings, especially among what's a younger staff, is something that should be pretty invaluable.
So Phil Snow is the quote unquote known commodity. On the other end of the spectrum, you probably have DeKel Shorts, 30-year-old head assistant coach. He's coaching the wide receivers for Nebraska. What did you hear from DeKel Shorts? What do you think of your first impression of him in front of the media?
Well, one of my impressions is this is a guy who has the makeup to someday be a coordinator or a head coach somewhere, whether that's Nebraska or somewhere else. Like I thought he was very polished. Had a chance to talk to him during the Pinstripe Bowl practices for a few minutes in December. But this is a guy who I thought was self-aware enough to make the point that, he's maybe going to do things a little bit differently than Garrett McGuire did coaching receivers prior to him. And that, he's learned from Dana Holgorsen, and really the reason he's here at Nebraska mostly is because of that relationship that he built with Holgorsen. The story I want to hear more about was his trip with Dana Holgorsen and hanging out with Mike Leach off the coast of Florida. And they were in some room together around midnight one night on vacation. I mean, that's a story that has to be told at some point. But he's someone who played at a high level, who understands what Holgorsen's looking to accomplish from a big picture sense in that offense. And you think about Nebraska receivers, they've kind of been living in the portal year to year. They're going to be doing that again this year. But if you can get some development going with these guys now from a player or a former player who's done it at a high level, that can only help too. So you've got someone who's new in a sense, but also pretty familiar with the offensive coordinator. And I think he realizes too, he's got a pretty talented room that he's working with.
The other coach that you guys heard from, last one for you then, is Phil Simpson, who's been at Nebraska, went to Florida State, came back to Nebraska. Obviously, we know there's talent in the wide receiver room. We know that Phil Snow is going to bounce back and forth, but Nebraska's been looking for a lot more out of that outside linebacker jack position in this 3-3-5 defense. What do you think Phil Simpson can bring to the table to help Nebraska get the most out of that position for the first time in a while?
Well, I still think his best quality is as a recruiter, and we saw that his ties to South Florida and his ability to connect with Miami kids as a former Miami high school coach himself. Produced Willis McGahee and Ja'Cory Barney and Vincent Shavers for Nebraska. So there's a ton of value in what he does in terms of connecting with high school players in that area. But yeah, I mean, as a position coach, like I thought it was illuminating to kind of hear how that collaboration works here this spring. I mean, he's coaching guys like Mav Noonan and McGahee and Deshaun McCullough. But they're spending some time in the defensive line room. They're spending some time with the linebackers. They have some kind of on their own. His is such an interesting position because as Nebraska figures out what its defense is going to be this year, some version probably of the 3-3-5, that jack spot is so central to that because those guys can fit in a lot of different spots. I mean, you can line some of them up on the edge. You could drop them back in coverage on the outside. And so he's learning his group. A lot of these coaches are learning who they have in there right now. But he's somebody who Matt Rule identified a few years ago as somebody who's on the rise. And now he gets a chance. He was at Nebraska 2 years ago, more in a behind the scenes sort of role. Now he gets a chance to be an on-field coach and take that next step. And, we'll see kind of how that all fits together. But I think they believe that he's someone who can add a bit of development in addition to kind of figuring out where that jack's going to fit into what the defense will do.
That's Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald, our guest on our Aloe Viper VIP line. Give Evan a follow on Twitter at Evan Bland OWH for all the coverage you need for Husker baseball this weekend down in Frisco and moving forward. Evan, once again, thanks a ton for pushing back a day with us. Glad we still got our weekly chat in. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again next week.
Yep. Thanks, Austin. See ya.
Evan joined us on, again, our VIP line brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. One segment left to go, brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Back in a sec.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Attention comedy fans, get ready for a night of non-stop laughs at the brand new Howler House Comedy Club. Brought to you by the team behind Kincaider Brewing, Sideshow Spirits, and Beer House, this underground comedy experience is happening beneath Beer House in the heart of the Haymarket. Enjoy Jason Vest and Layla Ingalls from The Kill Tony Show, as well as Will C this Friday. Shows are at 6:30 and 9 p.m. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for the brand new Howler House Comedy Club, opening this Friday at 8th and P.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off on Piedmontese brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, and at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 11th annual Street Festival. The party starts on Saturday, March 15th, with tons of giveaways, a kilt contest, great Irish food, and green beer, and continues on Monday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 11 a.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. on Monday, and the street party starts at 2 p.m. both days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's 8th and P in the Haymarket.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in. One final segment here up on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you, brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Go check them out at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. You can do so by getting your tickets at lovboma.com. Stricky, let's just hit a little NBA news here. Greg Popovich apparently met in person with the Spurs today. He hasn't been coaching them since November when the longtime legendary coach of the Spurs suffered a stroke. He told the team he won't return as their coach this season. Do you think we see Greg Popovich on an NBA sideline again after this season?
I think it's gotten to a point now. You can see that Pop has been aging pretty hard. You know, he's had a few issues. I think with the situation with Wemby, it's basically tank mode. It's still basically rebuild mode. There's no assurity that you land like a Cooper Flag. You know, you're going to get a couple of good options or a couple of good opportunities at it, but you're still in rebuild mode. And he might have come to an end with regards to that. Just going to the great good. He's had a good tenure. I think the game is changing a little bit more. I think one issue has become of them, and I think it's wearing on him too, is you have a couple of coaches that are very vocal, especially politically. And he's one of them. And Steve Kerr is another. So I think not only the rebuild, the landscape of where his being in the limelight is going to probably be asked a whole bunch of things, and I just don't think he wants to deal with it. I think he just kind of wants to vacate and just bow out gracefully.
The interim coach is Mitch Johnson. He's 38 years old. He took over again in November. Been on the Spurs sideline for a couple of years, but was with the organization for a while as well. As a member of the Austin Spurs assistant coaching staff. Do you think that the Spurs are an organization that would just promote Mitch Johnson, or if you're the Spurs, do you do a full sort of national coaching search to replace Pop?
Well, definitely. If you're the Spurs, you've got a couple of things you've got to weigh out. One, this is second year of Wemby, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you've got 2+1 with him and an extension. So you're definitely, if you want to retain him, you're going to probably want to have a discussion with him about who does he feel comfortable with. If it is him, you would definitely want to be establishing an ironclad relationship with Wemby. And but you're definitely going to want somebody that he respects. He respects Pop. Pop's, his resume speaks for itself. So he doesn't really have to speak to that. But there are others out there that I'm sure would love to come into San Antonio, get into Texas. The organization has been very, pretty strong. They've been, they really have a good foundation as far as how they handle things, and they don't go overboard with, overpaying people and so forth and so. But you have a lifetime generational talent in Wemby. So at this point, you want to get somebody that you know is going to be able to help take him to the next level. He feels comfortable with. Their minds have a connection and they grow together. You know what I mean?
Let's go ahead and pause 10 quick seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Strick, this is where I don't think the Spurs will go as far as hiring, say, France's national team coach, like the Suns did Luka Doncic's coach, and then proceed to, not pick Luka Doncic. It's going to be important where I think, the Spurs need Wemby's input at this point. But let's also not forget what happened with my Milwaukee. Sorry, they go with the coach that Giannis Antetokounmpo likes. Doesn't work out for him before too long. They're moved on to Doc Rivers. The other part about this is going to be interesting to monitor. We mentioned at one point on the show that Victor Wembanyama was out for the rest of the season. We didn't say what it was for. It hadn't come out yet. It's deep vein thrombosis, which essentially is a clotting issue. And according to the stuff I'm seeing from doctors online, it's an issue for taller people. And of course, Wemby, the alien, 7'4", especially when they fly. You're doing a lot of flying in the NBA, and this can go a couple ways. It could go the Chris Bosh way, where the clotting becomes an issue, it ends his career, or it can go the Brandon Ingram way, where it happened once, he got over it, he seems to be fine, he's dealing with it. A lot of times it's in the legs. For Wemby, it's in the shoulder, which is maybe a little bit different. That's another kind of crossroads the Spurs are at, because you see the historic stuff that Victor Wembanyama is doing through his first year and a half, 2 years in the league. If they go through that whole tank, they get a generational player, and it goes the Chris Bosh direction, that's going to set this franchise back 5-10 years at least.
There's no question. That's something to be worried about. We see trades that get avoided. We see a lot of different things. There's going to be a lot of questions whether he stays in San Antonio or whether he doesn't. And that's something that they're going to have to monitor and keep an eye on throughout the life of it. If I'm any team to include San Antonio, I'm looking at insurance options. I'm looking at somebody to be able to take it on, because if we do decide to sign him for He'll probably get rookie max. So you're looking at what? Yeah, well, depending on what the salary cap is at that
probably.
time, 2 something. Yeah, and because he'll be an All NBA type player, so he'll get the super max probably. So you've got to be able to have some form of footing in that next contract, where insurance maybe kicks in, where you can get out of it, where it doesn't salary cap strap you, or it doesn't put you into a tier because you've got something on your book. So you might want to figure out a way to navigate that.
Also, maybe the most important news of the day, Strick, is that Bobby Witt Jr. homered in spring training. My boy.
That's your
my shortstop.
Bobby
the
Witt,
rightful
that's your guy.
reigning American League MVP, Bobby Witt Jr. That's what I believe. Stricky,
Is
what's
he going
on?
back to back?
Well, he didn't win last year. But
Huh?
He didn't win last year. It was Aaron Judge.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, is he going to have, when I say back to back, not necessarily award back to back, but
he'll still be a stud.
Like that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm all in on Bobby. All in on WTF. What you got tonight?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the impact of LeBron James or any other players sitting out for all-star games, how that impacts the league and, different things like that. And we'll have this or that. And we'll also talk about what's the perception of the NBA right now. Just really dig into that. How are people viewing it and what led to the feelings that people have about the NBA right now?
Love it. That'll be WTF with E. Strick and Cluster Johnson coming up from 6 to 7 here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Last 2 hours have been old school. Appreciate Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. Check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're hiring some mechanics. They're hiring some CDL drivers. Again, Nebco Inc., NEBCOINC.com to learn more. Thanks for all your thoughts on our Starter Heeman Jewelers text line. Don't go anywhere. We got old school for an hour. I'm with Jay Foreman. Then it's East Drake and Cluster for WTF and more ticket weeknights after that. For the crew, I'm Austin. We'll be back with one more show for the week. 3 to 5 on the block tomorrow here on The Ticket. Load up on meat and more this winter at